Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today we actually ended up getting the 1.06 title update in Black Ops 6. This is an actual download required for everyone. It's only a couple of gigs regardless of what platform you're on, console, whether it's Xbox or PlayStation or on PC, but this is a mandatory download for everyone, and we've got quite a few new patch notes to go along with this. So as you can see, we've got our Monday, November 4th update, and lots of changes have been made with this patch. So as we go through all the details here, quick reminder, if you are new to the channel, just over 50% of viewers watching are not subscribed yet. So if that's you, I'd love to have you join us on the road to 1 million subscribers every single day. I got you covered with news, updates, patch notes, meta breakdowns, everything going on in Call of Duty is right here. So feel free to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date. And if you enjoyed this video, a like is always seriously appreciated, as it does really help grow the channel. But jumping right in, we got a couple of global updates here. So stability, improved stability when interacting with the message of the day. Oddly specific one, but it's been updated. Improved stability when sending voice communications, another pretty niche one, all things considered. For progression, completion display will now properly appear when completing prestige challenges in both multiplayer and zombies. Then for operators, address an issue where Bailey was not holding an intended pistol in the operator selection menu. We now jump into some of the multiplayer specific updates. Nuketown is now available in private matches. This has been a thing for a couple of days now, but it's officially in the patch notes here. For modes, address an issue where players were spawned in joining a session in progress instead of spectating before selecting a loadout. Yes, we saw ourselves in a kill cam before selecting a loadout too. So this has been a major issue. Essentially with this, you'd load into a game and you'd like open up the menu and you'd be 0-3 even though you're just clicking a class for the first time. So your character's not going to be there before you are there anymore. That's a huge W. Improved stability and infected as well. With spawns, general spawn logic tuning across several maps. So spawn tuning will be an ongoing process of taking in data, reviewing gameplay, and making measured adjustments. Our number one goal is to always provide the safest spawn across all maps. By the way, post-edit Zach here. For future reference, just gonna give my 2 cents here. I do wish they'd actually list the specifics here. They say general spawn logic tuning across several maps, but which maps are those? Because if there's specific maps that you're maybe trying to queue for, like you really want to play Lowtown or you really want to play Protocol or whatever map it is, right? And you want to know that the spawns are fixed there, it'd be nice to have the exact specifics. Hey, we updated the spawns on Red Card. We updated the spawns on Scud, or this map, that map, whatever the case is. I wish it just wasn't ambiguous. Hey, we updated some spawns on some maps. For loadouts, they addressed an issue where players would automatically equip their previously used loadouts sometimes, and an issue where players would die at initial spawn when selecting their loadouts. We also have some weapon updates here as well. It's been awesome seeing players discover and share their favorite weapon builds. Every day we monitor this stuff. We've seen discussions about the relative balance of rifles and SMGs, and we're making some early general changes to adjust their effective ranges. For ARs, we are pulling in some minimum damage ranges and lessening the impact of headshots at close range. SMGs are receiving a damage range increase. That's interesting. So we get our great graph breakdown that I love. These stats are so convenient here. So on the XM4, the damage range is actually going to be down a little bit. Its maximum damage is down 1, and then its range is going to be up a tad bit there. Its medium damage is also down 1. Its range is down a little bit. Then its minimum damage stays the same, but the range is a little bit worse. So XM4 gets some range and some damage nerfs there. On the AK-74, the damage, again, max damage is lower, but its range is a little bit better. There's no changes to the medium damage range. This weapon will now only have a maximum and a minimum damage range, and then its long range damage is up, but its range is down, if that makes sense there. On the aims, its close damage is down, but its range is better there. Then its long damage stays the same, but its range is going to be a tad bit worse. For the GPR, its close range damage is now worse, which is surprising because that thing was already not very good. Its mid damage is also worse, and so is the range. And then long range, same damage, but worse range there. They also increase the headshot multiplier on that as well. On the Model L, its close damage is worse, but its range is better. Its minimum damage is actually buffed a little bit, but its range is worse. It got a headshot multiplier reduction. On the Goblin, its close damage is worse, but the range is better. And then its minimum damage actually all stays the same there by the looks of it. On the AS Val, its close damage is worse, range is better, its mid damage is worse. No changes to its second drop off, and then only a range nerf for its long range damage. For SMGs here, this is what I'm particularly interested in. C9 gets a close damage buff, or a close damage range buff, I should say. Same deal with its mid damage range, its second medium damage range as well, and then its long damage range. So the C9 range buffs across the board are taking place there. The KSV gets a close range buff, a mid-range buff, a second mid-range buff, and then a long-range buff as well. The Tanto actually stays the same in the close range, but in the mid-range gets buffs, and then also in the minimum range or long range gets a range buff as well. The Bison ends up getting a close range buff, a mid-range buff, and then also a long-range buff to all of its ranges. The Jackal gets range buffs across the board as well. No changes to its actual damage, just the range is there. The Compact 92, even more range buffs. This is one that I definitely feel like it's close range, it falls off hard, so nice to see some range buffs across the board with that as well. Shotguns. Last week we fixed an issue with shotgun slugs, but we're still working on additional issues causing this attachment to be better than intended. Slugs are meant to offer an alternative playstyle that trades close quarters effectiveness for better range. So here, the slug attachment max damage has been nerfed on both weapons, the Marine and the ASG. Perks, another big one here, folks. So, Recon Combat Specialty. Reduce the duration that enemies are highlighted after respawning to 1.5 seconds from 2 seconds. Additional reduction will be coming in Season 1. So it's going to get even shorter, but it's shorter than it was yesterday. Resolved an issue that allowed players to activate Recon by changing loadouts. Dispatcher, they increased the Dispatcher perk score cost for UAV from 500 to 550 and increased the Dispatcher perk score cost for the counter up by 50 as well. As we head into Season 1, we're going to monitor perks and combat specialties. Currently, Enforcer is the most popular one with Recon in second place. It's not just about data though, as your feedback is critical with that. We are making some spot adjustments today as we continue to look towards perk updates in Season 1. But yes, Recon has been slightly nerfed now. With equipment, flashbang duration is a little bit lessened now by 20% there. Streaks increase the health of the UAV and the counter UAV, except for rockets, that stays the same. Increase the explosive radius of the napalm, reduced initial entry delay of the LDBR, increase the fly-in speed of the strategic bomber, and reduce the score of the interceptors. They adjusted stance cooldowns to reduce effectiveness of repeated prone to stand movement. So enough snaking is what they're saying there. XP earn rates. Adjusted player XP and weapon earn rates for most modes to ensure that they're being rewarded correctly. So they increased the weapon XP earn rates for most modes and player earn rates on TDM control, search and destroy, and gunfight yet again. Then they also decreased player XP in face-off. They don't want you playing the small maps. They want you playing the big maps, particularly Nuketown, right? Challenges addressed an issue where players were able to complete the nuke challenge while dying. That's cheesy. Appropriate perks are now display in the best play. The known issues, they're investigating some things with Gunsmith with different reticle options, optics being bugged. You'll need to re-equip them sometimes. In a case where optics are locked and equipped via a blueprint, players need to reapply the blueprint, so they're looking into that stuff. Then for zombies, just one update here. Gobblegum names now properly update when you switch between tier tabs. So quite a few gameplay updates here. Some cool weapon updates and some nice buffs to SMGs, some nerfs to rifles, and obviously a slight nerf to Recon there as well. That's going to wrap things up for this one, though. If you guys enjoyed the video, a like would be appreciated. And if you're new here, you want to guarantee you're always in the know for everything going on in COD in the coming days and weeks. Season 1, obviously going to be huge. The Warzone integration, lots to break down. You're not going to want to miss any of it. So be sure to hit that subscribe button on your way out. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy. Have an awesome rest of your day. I'll catch you later. Peace out.